just in, the first military attack of the Cold War commenced when North Korea decided to invade South Korea. After a failed attempt at containment during the Chinese Civil War, America fears losing another country and thus supports South Korea. The Soviet Union is supplying North Korea with weapons to aid their invasion. Although both countries initially agreed on trying to reunify the former Japanese colony, they've set up rival regimes on either side of the 38th parallel. As of now, the UN has called a conference with the Security Council to try and settle the issue. Let's take a closer look. Decorum delegates, welcome to the United Nations Security Council Conference. Let's start with attendance. Taiwan.
Present and voting.
United Kingdom.
Present and voting.
France.
Present and voting.
United States.
Present and voting.
USSR. The UN Security Council meeting resulted in the major powers recognizing North Korea as the aggressors to the attack and have agreed to send troops under MacArthur to help South Korea defend against North Korea. At home in the U.S., the NSC 68 plan has been approved and will result in the quadrupling of military funds, marking a major step in the militarization of American foreign policy.
After losing China to communism, the Republicans criticized the Truman administration, saying that they didn't do enough to help save China. As a result, the U.S. does not want to lose Korea to communism as well.
Until the end of 1949, we did not plan any aggression against South Korea. Instead, we were worried about an attack from the South, and we did everything to avoid provoking Washington and Seoul. While I tried to prevent a war in Korea in 1949, the North Korean leadership increasingly put pressure on the Kremlin.
Our perspective on the Korean War is that we successfully have defended against the UN troops reaching the Yalu River and successfully created a buffer zone for communism. We also have showed our strength and power by being able to push the UN forces all the way back to the 38th parallel. As shown by the map, the 38th parallel runs through the middle of Korea, resulting in a northern and a southern section. The northern section is led by Kim Il-sung, called the Democratic People's Republic, and supported by the USSR. The southern section is led by Syngman Rhee, called the Republic of Korea, and supported by the US. On June 25, 1950, North Korea invaded South Korea using USSR-supplied tanks and weapons, and the unprepared South Korea is forced to evacuate Seoul. By July, UN reinforcements led by MacArthur had successfully arrived at Korea and were helping the South Koreans fight back. By the end of July, North Korea had successfully pushed back UN forces to the southeast corner of the peninsula in the Pusan area. On September 15, 1950, MacArthur leads the troops for a risky amphibious attack at Incheon. He effectively cuts off North Korean troops, and they are forced to retreat back past the 38th parallel. On September 27, 1950, MacArthur receives permission from Washington to cross the 38th parallel. China warns MacArthur's forces that if they continue to push northwards towards the Yalu River, that there will be an intervention. But MacArthur is confident and continues to push upwards past Pyongyang and to the Yalu River. On November 27th, as warned, Chinese troops pushed back UN forces to the 38th parallel. Fighting along the 38th parallel continued for another 2 years, and the armistice was finally signed July 27, 1953, during Eisenhower's presidency, signaling the official end to the Korean War.
The Korean War was a resounding success, as there were no more inroads made by the North Koreans or Chinese in South Korea during the Cold War. The Korean War, an example of the success of containment, was also a stepping stone for the Vietnam War. To this day, there is still a demilitarized zone between North and South Korea, and tensions continue to run high between these two nations.